Hello guys, hope you are doing well. So today I'll be making a video on techniques to answer the questions in SBR, and this video is very much important for students because this will clearly tell you the step-by-step procedures to answer the questions in SBR related to section B portion. Okay, I am relating to the standards which is not related to groups or ethics, right? I'll be solely focusing on section B portion which is related to the standards, right? Now let us see what are the steps that we have to follow, and I'll be taking a real example so that you can relate to it and you can easily see what you have to replicate, right? So let's see the steps that we are going to follow, right? So we have to first identify the standards that the scenario is talking about, because in the scenario you will not get the exact standard written. You will get a hint that this is the standard they are talking about, and you have to identify and you have to mention the standard as well. If you can if you can mention the standard number, that is very well, and if you cannot, it is not, it is not a problem. You just have to know the conditions that are there in the standards. Okay, now you have to write the definitions and conditions in mentioned in the case, right? So what you have to do is, in the second portion, you have to write the learned knowledge that you have learned. And I'm not saying that you have to dump all the information that you have related to the scenario, because there are only 2 marks for the definition portion and everything related to the standard, right? And condition is that you have to relate that knowledge to the scenario as well. So in the second point, we have to write the definitions and conditions. Now comes the third point. If there is incorrect treatment done, or you have to do the treatment, what you have to do is, we have to tell them why it is incorrect, and we have to tell them what should be done to correct the answer, correct the incorrect treatment, right? So that is what we have to keep in mind. Now comes the 4th point, which is 1 mark for each correct point, which means if we are writing a point, we'll get 1 mark for each correct point that is according to the examiner. So we have to refer to the marking scheme as well. And there is a possibility that you have a heading, and in that particular heading there are 2 points that are correct, so you will get 2 marks for that particular heading. So we have to keep that in mind, right? Now I have taken an example which is related to the bundled goods. Okay, it is related to the revenue. So let me open the Word document and I'll tell you the whole step that I follow to write the answer. So this is the question mentioned here. Let's see. Sial company entered into a contract with a customer Heat company to sell a hardware package comprising of computer, a monitor and a printer for 2000 rupees. So what they are doing is, they are combining 3 things into a one contract, right? Which means that they'll be selling all the 3 into a combined package, which is 2000 rupees. Sial company will supply each of the 3 products at different points, which means that these three things are becoming different performance obligation. So you know that we have to, in the revenue 5-step model, there is the 4th step which we have to allocate the transaction price to the performance obligation, right? So this is the scenario which is related to the 4th step, which is allocation of transaction price, right? So first thing, what I have done is, I have identified the standard. So I'll write according to IFRS 15, revenue from contract with customer, transaction price should be allocated to different performance obligation based on the stand alone selling price. Okay, so this is the first step that I have done, that we have identified a scenario. Okay, so this is the first step. I have identified the standard, then I have identified what should be the correct treatment of the transaction price and how it should be allocated, right? Now there are given in the questions that the total transaction price is $2,000. Okay, and there are total three performance obligations which relates to a computer, monitor, and a printer. So $2,000 transaction price should be allocated to all the performance obligation based on the stand alone selling price. Okay, stand alone selling price, computer, monitor, and printer. Right, now let us see in the scenario what is the standalone selling price of all of them. CL company will supply each of the three products at different point in time according to the needs of the customer. CL company regularly sells the computer at a separately for 1720 rupees, $1720, right? So $1720 is for the computer, right? Now monitor is, however, the monitor and printer are new models and are not yet sold separately. CL company knows that the competitor company sells a specification of printer for $180, which means printer has been sold by the competitor for $180, which means that we can consider the separate standalone selling price of printer as 180. Now comes which CL company feels reflect the entity's cost and margin. Okay, which means that this is related to the entity as well. The cost to produce a monitor is $150. They have given you the cost. We have to see the standalone selling price, right? So the cost to produce a monitor is $150. CL company achieves a gross profit margin of 25% on the selling price of its product, right? Which means, okay, gross profit margin on the selling price. So this is given the cost, right? So this is $150 into, okay, so 25% of selling price, right? Which means we have to apply the unitary method, right? And this is 75, and okay, what we have to do is we have to multiply it by 100 divided by 75. Okay, so what we'll get is, let me calculate this. So we'll get 200, right? So the standalone selling price for the monitor will be $200, right? So we have calculated this. Okay, printer is not sold separately by CR company, but the competitor's price of $180 reflects CR company cost and margins, so this can be used as stand-alone selling price. Now we have calculated. Now it's time to allocate the transaction price. Allocation of transaction price. Allocation of transaction price. first let us allocate to computer. Okay, so let us first see the total of stand alone selling price. Total of standalone selling price is 1720 plus 180. Okay, so this is 2100. 2100. Okay, so the total is 2100. So now let us allocate it to the computer. So 2000 will be allocated, so we'll have to divide it into the ratio of 1720, 200 and 180. So do that. We will apply 2000 into 1720 divided by 2100. Okay, and second, for monitor, we'll do 2000 multiplied by 200 divided by 2100, and for third printer it is equals to 2000 multiplied by 180 divided by 2100. Okay, so this is how we will allocate the transaction price, right? Now so we have allocated the transaction price successfully. Let me perform the calculations as well. So 2000 into 1720 divided by 2100, which is equals to 1638. Okay, is equals to 1638. Now 2000 in 2000 multiplied by 180 divided by 2100, 171. 171. Now 2000 into 200. Okay, wait. Into 180 divided by 2100. Okay, this has been done. 171 we have calculated. The remaining one will, okay, so this is to be allocated to this. 2000 into 200 divided by 2100, which is equals to 190. So this is 190, right? So let us total this: 1638, 190, 171. 1638 plus 190 plus 171. This is okay, coming approximately to 2000. That is fine. Now this is correct. We have allocated the transaction price. We have shown all the calculations. We have written our explanation as well. We have written what should be according to the standard. And now after this, we can write how the revenue should be recognized, right? So revenue should be recognized according to the satisfaction of the performance obligation, which means that the revenue should be recognized at a point in time where the goods have been delivered to the customer. For example, if computer has been delivered and delivered, the revenue should be recognized at the point of delivery. We can mention the amount as well. Revenue of 1638 dollar. We should mention the. I hope this is clear. So this is it for the solution, and this is the approach that we should follow. You liked the video, and thank you guys for watching till the end. I hope you liked it and I provided some value to you. And if you want personal guidance, mentorship, or coaching program, I'll be providing my number in the video somewhere up here, and I'll be providing my LinkedIn link in the description below, right? Do reach out to me for coaching or mentorship program. I'll be there to help you, and I have previously also helped many students from foreign countries and India as well. So thank you guys for watching.